Hey film fans, welcome to CINEPRO, your ultimate hub for all movie recaps. From heartwarming classics to the latest blockbusters. This film, The Park Maniac, begins in Brazil. 1998, The Butcher begins. And he was taking a girl and showing her a spot inside a garden, and takes her inside. After a few minutes he comes out alone, his clothes covered in blood, holding a pair of roller skates, and leaves to look for a new victim. At that time, a journalist is taking photos of a crime, and goes to show her article to her boss, but when he reads it, he doesn't like it. He tells her it's not impactful and won't make sales, so she leaves disappointed and comes back to ask him, what does it mean for a man to run over his wife with a car? Isn't that impactful? He takes the article and gives it to her old colleague, and asks him to read it and give his opinion. He reads it and says it's ordinary. The boss explains that since their opinions are the same and there's no debate, the article is a failure. He was waiting for the reader to ask an important question. Her colleague then asks, what's the important question? The boss replies, what did the wife do to make her husband kill her? She leaves, frustrated, and her assistant comes and tells her, see, I told you they wouldn't appreciate your effort. Her old colleague mocks her, and the serial killer works as a delivery man at a delivery company, delivering orders on his motorcycle, knocking on many doors every day. After he finishes, he returns to the company, and the boss is happy with him because he's the fastest delivery guy, delivering the highest number of orders and makes everyone applaud him. After work, his colleague goes home, but the boss allows him to sleep inside. So he goes to change his clothes and takes out belongings of the girl he killed, opens a box full of things he took from the girls he killed before, including the ID card with the girl's photo, and he sleeps looking at her picture. The next day he goes skating as he likes to do, and spots a girl he likes. He asks her to talk for a minute, claiming he works for a cosmetics company, and they're shooting an ad for a model who didn't show up, so if she comes instead since she's the same. The girl refuses, so he tempts her with money, offering her 1,500 reais, and he'll only take 150 commission. She's surprised and asks about the roller skates in his hand. He says they're his. He plays with them at the club. The girl agrees, but says she'll inform her family first. She calls her cousin and convinces her that it's just a photo shoot. No need to take off any clothes. Her cousin asks about the man she's with, and she describes him, says he likes skating at the club and gives a name which is fake. She gives him the phone to talk to her cousin, and he tries to convince her, but the cousin refuses to let her go with him. He apologizes for bothering her and leaves, but the girl calls him back and says she'll go with him. He takes her to a nearby garden, and she tells him she came because she needs money to pay her debts. He points to where the photography team is supposed to be, and as soon as they enter, he makes her look away, hits her, drags her further inside, and when she screams, he covers her mouth. She begs him to let her go, but he pushes her. She tries to resist. He throws her against a tree and she passes out. He tries to kill her with his hands, beats her until she stops resisting, and strangles her with a scarf from her clothes. The girl dies in his hand. He takes her ID and puts it in his box. In the morning, someone in the garden spots the body and is shocked. By coincidence, the journalist at work sees someone asking about her old colleague, so she pretends to be his assistant, takes the paper and learns about the body. She tells her assistant to get the camera and follow her. The police show her where the body is, and she finds a naked, murdered girl. She asks the forensics team if they identified her, and learns they found another decomposed body in the same garden. Her assistant gives her the photos. She examines them and writes an article about the crime, calling him the garden serial killer. The killer himself is happy when he sees the news because he's become famous, but her old colleague is upset because she stole his story. The boss is happy because they sold a lot of newspapers, and all the media is interested in the case. The journalist asks her boss to give her all the information about the case, promising to find the killer and interview him, which will make their newspaper even more successful. He likes the idea and agrees, so she quickly starts working on the case. Meanwhile, the killer, as usual, is delivering orders and spots a girl inside a house. Forensic medicine tells the journalist that the body is full of deep wounds and has a mark on her arm. She goes to the investigator handling the case and asks if there's any new evidence. He tells her, every day, 6 girls are killed, about 666 in a few months. How can I analyze all those? If you find anything, let me know and let's help each other. She thanks him and leaves, frustrated. The killer goes skating as usual, and the journalist keeps investigating. Her old colleague finds out about a new crime, and they rush to photograph it first. But when they arrive, he's already taken the photos and mocks her. She gets closer and sees one decomposed body, and another fresh, naked body with the same details. TV talks about the two new bodies. People are more afraid, and the police try to reassure them, saying they're confident they'll catch the killer soon. Shops have to close early every day, because girls are afraid to go out after 5 p.m. The government asks people to call if they have any information to help catch the criminal as soon as possible. The killer finds a new victim, again claiming he works for a cosmetics company, and wants someone for an ad. When the journalist meets her sister, she tells her about the 4 women found murdered in the garden, and asks her how she thinks the killer manages to convince girls to go with him and how he finds them. Her sister warns her that psychopaths like him know exactly what they're doing and are very selfish, but most of them are talented in something like art or sports. She reminds her of an old killer who was good at skating and says those people lack full emotional development, so they don't feel guilt, fear, remorse, or any emotions. The killer manages to convince a new victim and tries to kill her as brutally as the other. The journalist gathers everything she knows about him to find him and keeps all the information in front of her all the time, while the killer stands inside listening to his colleague mocking him. Regarding the news about the garden butcher, as soon as he goes out they say be careful he doesn't catch you and kill you. He says to himself a bunch of donkeys. He looks at the published news and is pleased with what's written about him. The next day, the journalist goes to work and the manager tells her that the police have managed to identify one of the girls. Her name is Christina, and he gives her the address of her cousin so she can go talk to her. The journalist goes to the cousin and introduces herself as a reporter from a famous newspaper, saying she's there to ask about her cousin, but the cousin avoids her and refuses to talk. The journalist convinces her to speak, especially since she was present when they found Christina naked, and that the police won't investigate or care about the case, unless it becomes a big issue and everyone talks about it. The cousin tells her that Christina wasn't working and was in desperate need of money, so when this butcher appeared and told her to take some photos and he'd pay her, she went with him. Did you see him? The journalist asked. No, I only talked to him on the phone, and that was the last time I spoke to my cousin. She asks, what did he look like? She describes him, saying he's not very tall and hangs out at a certain club, telling her the name. The journalist goes to the club and convinces the players there that she's writing an article about them for her newspaper. They believe her and give her a videotape of them playing. The butcher delivers an order and returns to his company, and one of them takes his medal and mocks him. The butcher leaves the police station, seeing the police are very busy with the girl's case, which makes him feel smarter than them. The journalist listens to the players' videotapes one by one, writing their names down, trying to figure out exactly which one is the butcher. The butcher's manager comes and says, I know you're a good guy, but if anything else happens, tell me first, and invites him to dinner with his wife and sister. The journalist is still reviewing the tape when the assistant comes and jokes about his good singing voice in the chorus. At that moment, she gets a brilliant idea, rushes to Christina's cousin, and says, you said you heard the butcher's voice, right? If you heard it again, could you recognize it? She brings her in, blindfolds her, and lets her listen to their voices one by one. The butcher goes to his manager's dinner, where they keep praising him for being very skilled at skating, having won many awards, and learn that his family lives in another area. They ask if he misses them, and he says he only misses his mother. They make him get up and dance with them, and he laughs. Christina's cousin recognizes the butcher's voice correctly. The journalist goes to the police investigator, shows him the video, and they have the artist draw the butcher's face. She asks the investigator to let her publish the picture on the newspaper's cover, saying it will help them catch him faster. He agrees, and the picture is published on the cover. Her old colleague gets very jealous, and everyone buys the newspaper. As soon as the butcher sees his picture, he feels exposed and gets very scared. He rushes to burn everything he stole from the girls he killed, including Christina's necklace. When his manager comes, he doesn't find him, but he sees the newspaper and a note apologizing for leaving. When his eyes fall on the news, he is shocked and tells them everything about him, that he worked as a delivery guy at his company. The TV films his workplace, the letter he left for his manager, and the necklace he burned before leaving, which belonged to Christina. They get his photo from an old record, and the whole world turns against him, especially since he used to deliver orders, making it very easy for him to attack any girl who simply opened the door for him. The journalist calls the butcher's manager and manages to get his mother's address. She goes there, waits for her, introduces herself as a journalist, and says she needs to talk to her about her son. She asks her, do you think your son is really the garden butcher? She replies, my son is a good, hard-working boy. She asks, where do you think he is now? She says he's probably hiding, afraid of everything happening, afraid of being caught because of the case. She says her son has always been ambitious, and wanted to be a skating champion, unlike his siblings who work in the fields or fish at sea. The journalist learns that he has another name, Tim. He goes to the water, throws away his motorcycle and is very sad and exposed, even sacrificing his skating shoes as he breaks down. He goes to a church, focuses on a girl standing there, stays at a cheap hotel, and turns on the TV to follow the case, happy that people have forgotten him and no one is talking about him. There he spies on the girl again from his window. Coincidentally, the journalist goes to the artist, likes the way he drew the butcher with a cap and glasses, so people can recognize him even if he's disguised, prints similar pictures, and shows them to her manager, continuing to gather all the new information about him. Meanwhile, he travels to the border between Brazil and Argentina, but suddenly there's a checkpoint, the bus is stopped, and an officer checks everyone's IDs but can't identify him. At that moment, the journalist gets a call from a woman who says she has information about the butcher. To prove she isn't lying, she tells her his name is Tim and that he's not dangerous at all. The journalist quickly takes her address, goes there, and the woman asks her to come alone. She takes her camera and goes with. The woman shows her a picture of herself with the butcher and tells her that she met him here. They were very happy together until he started mocking her and bringing women to the house, and that he hit her badly once and exploited her, giving her his things like photos, news, and what looked like a diary he used to write in. He wrote that he wanted to be very famous, even if it meant becoming a butcher. The journalist convinces her manager that she wants to meet the women who managed to escape him and hear their stories, but the manager refuses. One woman says she needed money to buy medicine for her dying grandmother. Another thought he was a gift from God. Another cried because she could have been dead like the other girls. And another tells how he suddenly turned violent and hit her, and she tried her best to escape him. The journalist cries over the suffering the girls endured. Meanwhile, the butcher works with a fisherman. The fisherman's wife comes and gives him tea. Her husband goes to sell the fish he caught, and when he gets to the shop, he sees the news and the butcher's picture by coincidence and is at the same time, the butcher is attracted to the fisherman's wife and prepares to kill her. But her husband suddenly returns and stops him, and the police arrest him. This happens on August 4, 1998, and he is arrested thanks to the fisherman who saved his wife at the last moment. The woman who knew him sees that he's finally been caught after 23 days of searching. It's said he was arrested at the Argentine border. The fisherman tells them that as soon as he saw the pictures, he knew it was him. He is taken to prison by plane, and all the girls he assaulted file charges against him. The journalist is happy that she helped bring him to justice. His dream came true, and he became famous just like he wanted. So, as soon as they called her and told her that the serial killer wanted to do an interview with her because she was the one who gave him the nickname the Garden Butcher, she agreed, even though her sister warned her. But she reassured her sister that she would go and make him confess, or at least she would go see him in the prison where he was being held and sit with him. But he denied being the killer who murdered the girls, so she reminded him of Christina's badge that was found burned in his work. He told her that anyone could enter and leave that company easily. She asked him again, "So you didn't kill those girls?" He said no. She replied, "Strange, then what are you doing here?" He answered that he was just a normal person who made mistakes, but he was not a butcher. She told him, "The man who was able to deceive all those girls is not just an ordinary man, he's an amazing man, like a movie star. Even your friends said you were the smartest among them, and even your mother said you were with a different girl every day, yet you say you're not that man. Don't you feel that you're smart?" He replied, "I'm not dumb. Every time they find a murdered woman, they'll blame it on me and pin her case on me. Look, I brought you here to tell you that what's happening isn't fair." So she played him the tapes of the women he harassed and abused, until he got annoyed and told her to turn off the recording. He got angry and threw the device. At that moment, they confronted each other, and she told him that what was truly unfair was what he did to the girls, and how he destroyed them. She mocked him. "You think you're special or better than anyone else just because you know how to ice skate. Even 6-year-old kids can do that. You're trash, an animal, and you deserve to rot in prison so you don't hurt anyone else." He got angry at her, but she continued, "I didn't come here to make you confess. Your confession means nothing to me because I'm not going to put your face on the cover of the newspaper again. Anyway, the police have all the evidence to keep you in prison, your DNA, the old reports and the testimonies of all the women who escaped from you and confirmed you are the butcher. Your time is up," and she left. She wrote an article about the girls who were hurt because of him and their families, but the editor refused to publish the article at first. She told him, "Remember when you asked me what the woman did for her husband to step on her toy car? The truth is, there's no woman who deserves to be killed, and there's no justification for murder at all. If people keep thinking like this, there will be more killers and more murder. He felt that she was right and published her article on the cover, which made the killer even angrier because he was no longer famous. If you liked today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive all new updates. See